Never. It's never where I want it.
A lot of struggling on that side of the camera today, Paul. A lot of...
Today, a lot of struggling, I think. It's a struggle.
Yeah, so a lot of news. First
Mm-hmm.
off, Paul, this is the
Yeah.
this
No,
is the
really? That's what you're leading with?
so this is the ill-fated GTX 1080, which
Mm-hmm.
so here
Kind of a classic, really, right?
kind of.
GTX
I mean,
1080?
the thing is, it's still a great high performant card.
Yeah.
So here's what happened yesterday: is that I filmed an episode of Enterprise Dish with Ducks, and we
Mm-hmm.
got through the whole thing. But what I can see on my little stream deck over here are like just percentage graphs of like temperatures. One of them being the
Right.
GPU,
Yep.
and one of the fans stopped spinning, and I could see that GPU
Just,
temperature climbing. I was like, uh oh, and like if you
Right.
watch that, if you-
Attention passengers, we're going to make an unscheduled stop in Duluth. I hope that's not a problem for
yeah,
anybody.
pretty much. Like if you go back, if you watch the
Yeah.
podcast with Ducks and I, you can see that I just
Mm-hmm.
kind of end it, just kind of wrap it up, nice, real quick. And like I stopped recording, and then like 30 seconds later, the machine just hard shut down. It's like, oh no. So I don't. It's clearly the fan is what's causing the issue. I don't know if it ruined the card or whatever, but I went out and had to buy a new card. And so this podcast is brought to you by the RTX 2070 Super,
Oh.
because that is it's
How much?
it was like 500 something.
Yeah, where'd you get it?
Micro Center, which they didn't have a lot of, and
Oh, you have micro centers.
yeah, which is a great, like, I really like that store because of this exact reason. Like they stock all that stuff. Now, granted, this stuff is going to get replaced probably next month or even in October, and I was like, I went in there, I knew exactly what I needed. The RTX 2070 Super is like 20%, 10 to 15% better than the 1080. I don't need like the 2080 Ti. I want that, but I don't
Sure.
need it, right? And that's also like $1,400. And
Jeez.
the guy, of course, they're like, "Well, you could get the 2080 Super," and I'm like, look, I'm going from a 1080, and it worked just fine. The problem is that it just died from abuse, and here we are.
Wow.
So I might be able to resurrect this card, maybe if I can find a replacement fan. You can't see it, but like this, you can't hear, I should say, but this fan, like it
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
like
yeah.
there's,
Well, you could kind of hear it.
yeah. So this
There's something
fan
on. Yeah.
like rattles, like I can press it in, like it fluctuates
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this, and it just
Might be
stops
the whole
spinning.
housing.
So yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, so
Anything else going on, Brad? Any other little things you might want to discuss?
no, this showed up in the mailbox, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Nice job, Panos.
Yeah. So this is the Duo showed up,
Mhm. Yep.
quite literally at 8:22
Mm-hmm.
a.m. Eastern time, and I was able to film an unboxing and get it up on the site and everything real
Yeah,
quick.
nice.
Um,
So, first impressions,
first impressions are it's heavy.
heavy,
Like it's
thin but heavy. So it's dense.
yeah, dense.
Lots of battery, probably.
That would be my guess. And then obviously it comes with a rubber case, and I had to put it on.
Okay? Yep.
Or silicone, I should say. I don't know, whatever it is. And
Now,
then,
what's the point of that?
so the point of it is, I can't shut my laptop, but so when you set it on something,
Yeah.
like it's,
Oh, it keeps it from sliding.
you can see the depth there. It keeps it from that. It makes it easier to hold, quite frankly,
Yep.
because again, it's glass or whatever this material is.
They
And
should have built Alcantara into that. You know, that would have solved the same
don't
problem.
give them ideas, please.
Yep. V2. V2.
So, a lot more discussion. They also sent over, which I don't have a pair of these, the satellite dishes.
Surface earbuds.
Yeah,
Is that what those are? Yeah. Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
So-
It's the same color too. That's good.
yeah. That was the first. So I pulled it out. And I was like, okay,
You're like,
great. And then I was
seriously?
like, wait, these aren't the same color. And then the
Right.
the charging cord is black, so it matches none of the above.
Oh boy, man, it's the details. You know.
Yeah, it's the whatever. And so per Microsoft, we can't talk about the on-screen experiences yet, but
Really.
yeah.
Okay. Oh
So-
boy, that's
So there you go. The review will be coming in a few weeks, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It looks nice.
It's big.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah. Actually, do you have your iPhone with you?
I do.
So
I do.
why don't you hold those up together?
Yeah. So this will be this. This is an iPhone 10s.
Yeah. So it's about the same height, or as Brad would say, height, and is about 20 seconds. Hold it up again. Hold on. I'm sorry. And then, yeah. And then, not even quite the same height, but it's about
close.
30% wider.
Wider,
It looks like.
yeah. So
Okay. Yeah, it's too bad. And it's, like I said, an 8-inch screen. So it's roughly the size of an iPad mini in landscape mode when open, I guess.
yeah. So yeah, that feels about right.
Yeah. I hold it, twist it around like 180 or 45 degrees. No. I'm sorry. I meant like open, but just the whole back.
This way.
It's like
There's only so many options left.
we're having a cognitive test here today, and I got to say it's not going well.
Man, TV, camera.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not a bad size.
Yeah, so the post is up on Thurrott. You can go see the full unboxing experience if you want to.
Very good. Very good.
If you want to do that thing, you can go ahead and do that thing or not. I mean, I frantically.
In semi-related news,
Mm-hmm.
I believe I am getting today a Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra,
Wow.
which is kind of another take on the Microsoft phone, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. So that to me
Yeah.
is a very interesting device. Like,
Yeah.
I know I say this every year in the fall, but if I was going to switch to Android, that is the phone that I would go to.
Yeah. So,
Well, maybe this
yeah.
one. I don't know. But whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to finally get an official review device from Samsung. I've been working on that for a couple of years. But aside from that, and I'm happy just to review it. I basically owned its two predecessors, which are the S20 Ultra 5G and then the Note 10 Plus from last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of Microsoft integrations, I think, which are really interesting. So
Yes,
I'll be able
they
to
do.
take a look at that remote app capability, before it comes to, it will eventually come to everyone. But yeah, so these would be interesting takes on two different Microsoft approaches to mobile, I guess is one way to look at it.
Yeah, that might be the title of this podcast. Microsoft's different take to mobile or something. Whatever.
Microsoft's Plan B and Plan C.
Well, you got to start with something because we all know the A didn't work out. So, let's.
How many letters are there?
Let's.
It's actually possible that Windows Phone was like Plan E or F. I don't know. I don't remember. But
What else has happened in the world? There's a new Google Chrome update with new improved tabs.
so just two things real quick that might be of semi-interest. I haven't written this one yet, but Microsoft is making an Azure-based immersive reader component available to third-party developers for the first time. And if you're familiar with immersive reader in Microsoft Edge, it's basically that, but for any app. So I'm going to take a look at that. Like, for example, I have like the Notepad app. Now, nobody needs immersive reader for a Notepad app, but I'm just curious if I could I'm curious what that might look like if you could actually add it and have it read it back to you. That's kind of cool. So I'll write that up soon. And then just the New York Times has an interesting behind the scenes look at Microsoft's talks with TikTok and how they escalated over time because of the actions of the U.S. government and blah, blah, blah. And originally all they wanted to do was take a minority investment and call it that. And what they were really hoping for, it should come as no surprise to anybody, was getting TikTok on Azure. So
Oh, interesting.
we'll see what happens there.
So,
but yeah,
to me, like that makes a lot more sense than Microsoft buying the company.
yeah, because their initial look at this company was like the same thing that I said after the fact, and that anyone would have said is like, why would Microsoft want to manage a social media network in 2020? Like, it's a horrible task. And they didn't want that. But the
They
more
just
they
want the
talked
video,
about it, they were like, look, if we acquired this company, we could just put it on Azure. And then I don't know where they got this number, but TikTok is valued anywhere from $20 to $50 billion, depending on who you're talking to and how much of it you get, I guess. But the New York Times claims that if they got this thing on Azure, it would be worth $80 billion. And then they would also add to Microsoft's advertising business, which, by the way, makes $7 billion a year in revenues. So it has the potential to give a real shot in the arm to Microsoft's advertising.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Look, I still don't think it makes sense. I want to be clear.
Yeah.
But interesting story.
Yeah, maybe that's why Oracle wants them as well, to put them on the Oracle cloud, and for the exact same reason. I mean, I think Zoom is on on Oracle.
Zoom is on Oracle.
Yeah,
Oracle. How is Oracle? Oracle is like the COBOL of like database.
they're like the
company.
industry Oracle, right? You got
Yeah. No, they're like I almost made like a Simpsons type joke. It's like Oracle is like the COBOL of the computer industry. It just doesn't make sense. That's why it's funny. Right?
keep digging.
Did I tell you about the poodle with the radar dish?
So, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this has been an interesting episode.
Yeah.
We've got.
So what's the schedule for what you can write about this? What's the deal? Like, or can you even say that?
I don't even know.
Yeah. Okay.
Like this thing literally showed up. I'm not even. I told Paz like it's here. Like
yeah.
podcast is gonna be late because no way in hell am I gonna get this done in time. So I know the review isn't for a few weeks.
Okay.
So.
All right, so today you're allowed to do what you did, which
Just
show the outside
unboxing,
of it.
like here it is. I can now live out my dream of being a Microsoft corporate exec and putting this like in the background of all my photos now. And
By the way, you should please spend the next 2 weeks doing that.
I am. You'd be like
Just-
changing my tire and then just
Yeah, exactly. And just have it propped up next to the. Please do that.
this is probably too much for a podcast, but I'm gonna say it anyways, just because
Okay.
I think it's humorous.
Excellent.
I'm gonna take one like next to my shoes on the bathroom floor, like just the morning glory.
It looks. I can read it from here.
Yeah.
It's like we were walking the dog after the flood, and this woman who I guess she runs the HOA or something was there with her dog, and we're just talking about whatever. And so, there was a moment of silence, and then she goes, "Can I ask you guys a personal question?" And I was like, "Oh God, please do, please." But it was just something about Mark. I think she had seen Mark and wondered if he had cochlear implants because she knows somebody who does or something. But anyway, I was hoping it was going to be some awesome personal question,
Yeah.
But
well, it's like my neighbor used to think I was a bread baker because.
I'm sorry.
Yep, my neighbor used to think I was a bread baker because of my schedule.
Is it because you're so white you look like you're covered in powder flour? No, I'm sorry. Why?
Hate you. Because when my daughter was going to daycare, I would always be coming home. Like I would take her and drop her off at like 7:15, and I'd be home at 7:30. And all she ever saw was me coming home at 7:30. So she thought that I like woke up really early, went and baked bread.
Like you're live in France and you make croissants or something like.
Mhm.
Although I guess technically that's probably an all-day job in France, but wow.
Yeah.
Time to make donuts.